Picture this. Scattered across the globe, there are these bizarre, perfectly geometric structures. Forts shaped like stars, built with a precision that makes you wonder. They're old, maybe too old, and their story doesn't quite add up. Some say they're just military relics. Others, they think these are clues to a civilization we've forgotten, or one someone wanted us to forget. Why do they exist? Who really built them? And what were they actually for? Tonight, we're diving into a mystery that's equal parts history, conspiracy, and straight up weirdness. Hey, welcome back. And if this is your first time, welcome to Humanly Curious. This is where we explore the fringe and the mysterious, and we chase after the weird, the wild, and the what-ifs. I'm just a regular guy here, no AI, fighting back against the robot takeover of YouTube with a voice, with a voice that is so lifeless and drowning, it could make the secrets of the ancient builders sound like a user manual for a 17th century cannon. Today we're exploring the strange star-shaped structures that dot the planet. Are they just old forts, or are they something stranger? Let's find out. Let's start with the basics. These structures, let's call them star forts for now, are fortifications with a very specific design. Walls and bastions arranged in a radiating star-like pattern. They're found everywhere. Europe, Asia, the Americas, even Japan. The official story? They were built mostly between the 1400s and 1700s, during the Renaissance, to defend against a new weapon, artillery. Cannons changed warfare, and these forts, with their angled walls, were supposedly perfect for absorbing cannon fire and giving defenders clear shots at attackers. Famous examples include Fort Bowertang in the Netherlands, a gorgeous symmetrical masterpiece still standing today. There's Palma Nova in Italy, a near-perfect 9-pointed star that looks like it was designed by aliens. And don't forget Almeida in Portugal, or Naarden, also in the Netherlands. Each one a geometric marvel. The guy usually credited with perfecting this design is Sebastian Leprestre de Vauban, of which I probably just butchered that. Sebastian? My bad. Bruh. Dude was a French engineer who built or upgraded dozens of these in the 17th century. But here's where it gets interesting. These forts aren't just practical. They're obsessively precise. The angles, the symmetry, the math behind them. It's almost too perfect for an era when people were still figuring out how not to die of the plague. And why are there so many? All over the world. Sometimes in places that didn't even have cannons yet. The deeper you dig, the weirder it gets. Let's talk about Fort Ontario in New York. Locals say it's haunted, and some old records indicate that it was built on something even older. Something no one can explain. So why do these forts feel so off? Let's break it down. First, the architecture. Building a star fort wasn't like slapping together a log cabin. You needed advanced mathematics, trigonometry, geometry, stuff most people don't touch until centuries later. The bastions had to be angled just right, sometimes to within a degree, to deflect cannonballs. And get this, some of these forts, like Palma Nova, align with celestial patterns, like constellations or solstice lines. Coincidence? Maybe, but it makes you wonder what the builders were really up to. Then there's the global thing. Star forts aren't just a European fad. You've got Goryaku in Japan, built in the 1800s, but supposedly modeled on older designs. There's the Citadel of Jaca in Spain, and forts in India and Mexico that predate colonial contact. How do you explain identical designs popping up across continents, sometimes centuries apart? It's almost like there was a blueprint or a culture that we don't know about. Now let's get to the really strange stuff. Some of these forts have buried lower levels, floors or walls sunk deep into the ground, like they were covered by some massive event. Sound familiar? Yeah, it's the kind of thing alternative history buffs love. And then there's the conspiracy angle. Some folks on the fringes claim these forts weren't for defense at all. They say the star shape was designed to channel something. Maybe energy. Atmospheric electricity, ley lines, you name it. There's even talk they were built to protect against threats we can't imagine. Not cannons, but something bigger. Giants? Cosmic events? I know it sounds wild, but stick with me. Okay, we're about halfway through, and I gotta be honest, this is a little weirder than even I had expected. Sometimes my son will send me stuff and be like, you've got to check this out. I mean, these forts are for real. You can visit them. But the more I read about their precision and the buried levels to them, the more I'm like, are we on to something here, or am I just falling down a rabbit hole? Let me know in the comments what you think down below, and let's keep digging. The next part's going to get even crazier. Before we go full X-Files, let's look at one more piece of evidence. Take Fort Bowertang. It's stunning, right? But dig into its history and you'll find stories of unexplained tech. Rumors of devices or tools used in its construction that don't match the era. And then there's the folklore. Across cultures, these forts are tied to ghost stories, strange lights, or feelings of something watching. Is it just human imagination, or a clue to what these places really were? Let's play skeptic for a minute. The mainstream explanation for these forts is pretty straightforward. They were military bases, built to counter cannons. The star shape? Just physics. Angled walls absorb impact better. The global spread? Trade, conquest, and colonialism. Europeans brought the design to Asia and the Americas, and locals copied it. As for the precision, well, humans were smarter than we give them credit for. Renaissance engineers like Vauban were basically math nerds with a war fetish. The buried levels? Probably just erosion or bad record keeping. And the energy stuff? No hard evidence. No ancient batteries or ley line schematics have ever been found. Most forts have clear records of who built them and why. The conspiracy crowd loves to cherry pick weird details, but sometimes a fort is just a fort. Still, I can't shake the feeling we're missing something. Why the celestial alignments? Why the global blueprint? Maybe it's not aliens or giants, but could there be a piece of history we've overlooked? Let's try and wrap this up and figure out where we land. So what is the deal with these star-shaped forts? The evidence is real. They exist. They're insanely precise. And they're everywhere. The official story says they're military tech. And that holds up. Mostly. But the anomalies, buried levels, global designs, celestial alignments hint at something more. What if these weren't just forts? What if they were observatories, energy hubs, or even markers of a culture we've erased from the books? I'm not saying it's true, but imagine this. A civilization advanced in ways we don't understand leaves behind these structures. Then history gets rewritten and we're left with half the puzzle. It's a stretch, but it's fun to think about. Next time you see one of these forts, ask yourself, what were they really protecting us from? And that wraps up the mystery of the star forts, relics of a lost civilization. What do you think? Are these just old forts? Or is there a bigger story that we're not being told? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, especially if you've ever visited one of these sites or if you've heard anything wild that I may have missed. If you've enjoyed this dive into the weird, please hit that subscribe, give me a like, and hit that notification bell icon in the corner, as I'm a one-man solo creator of this channel and it really helps me out. And let's keep chasing the what-ifs together. Thank you for watching. Good night.